Hello, everybody. Stephanie D. Sanders here, and you are watching an interview with Stephanie. I wanted to come back and break this thing down a little bit for you. I know we had talked in one of my previous shows to David about this, but some people wanted us to break it down and kind of split things up to just get real more specific about it. So one of those things that we were talking about, which was New Year's resolutions, that's what it was. I saw this
Yes.
post David had put out, and people were talking about New Year's resolutions and so forth. And I do recall every single solitary year, people like me, I had done it multiple times. We make these resolutions at the beginning of the year, trying to lose weight in different ways and so forth. But then, do we stick with it? Do we keep it up? Well, David is here to talk to us a little bit more about that. David, what have you noticed over the years, and even just in this last year, what have you noticed people have been talking about when it comes to making their New Year's resolutions?
So good to be on your show again, Stephanie. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a joy to be here. And so, yes, New Year's resolutions is a big one, but here's a big misconception. New Year's resolutions doesn't necessarily mean you have to start at the beginning of the year, right? It's called New Year's. It doesn't say New January, right? Resolutions. We have a whole year to be able to get there, right? To be able to start something, to be able to chase after what it is that we want to do physically, mentally, to change our life. And so I think a lot of people feel that if they don't start at the beginning of the year, they're failures. What are people going to think about them? It's not going to be good enough. Well, let's just wait. This year's already a bust. Let's just wait till next year. No, don't do that, right? A lot of people spend time trying to figure out when is the perfect time to start. I'll start whenever I'm ready, right? I know I can do this. I know I can change my habits. I know I can lose weight. I know I can get healthy. Great. Then if you know it, why aren't you starting, right? And so what I like to say is there is never going to be a time when you're ready. There is never going to be a perfect time, because there's always going to be issues in life. There's always going to be setbacks. There's always going to be adversity. There's always going to be challenges. Life is going to throw things at you. So you're never truly going to be ready. There might be fear. There might be doubt. There might be, some shame. There might be so many things that are going in your thoughts, in your head, and your emotions that you just don't feel like you're able to because you don't feel ready. Well, you don't have to be ready. You don't have to wait for that perfect time because it doesn't exist. Sometimes you need to make the time to make it happen. Sometimes you need to find and make the time to do it. The perfect time is when you are sick and tired of living the life that you have. You're sick and tired of a yo-yo lifestyle. You're sick and tired of starting things and failing. You're sick and tired of looking at the mirror and feeling disgusted and not liking what you see. You're sick and tired of being overweight, unhealthy. You don't have the energy to play with your kids and your grandkids. You're sick and tired of the clothes that you're buying. Instead of you finding clothes that you want to buy at a regular store, you're ashamed, so you go to the Goodwill or you go through a thrift store, right? Not that that's bad, but I'm saying there is a better way and there is a better life that you can achieve. So it's about making the time to do it. Regardless, if you're scared, if you have fear, if you have anxiety, if you feel like you can't do it, you find a professional like myself that believes more in you than you believe in yourself, so that I can guide you and coach you to that better life, because there's potential inside of you. It's just about that potential coming out so that you can see it and you can achieve the life that you want.
Wow, wow, wow. So, because I know I had set my own personal New Year's resolutions, and I've been pretty much sticking to it.
Good.
There are times when I have a whole pizza every now and then,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I do
It's okay.
try to stick to whatever that goal is that's in my mind until,
Yeah.
until I reach it. I have noticed some things from a female perspective, hormonally, that
Hmm.
certain things have been happening since the new year came in. But
Right.
what can you shed some light on about hormones in dealing with that
Hmm.
and actually losing weight and so forth and so on?
Yeah. There are certain hormones that need medical treatment, right? Certain thyroid issues that might need medication, right? Certain things that might be causing certain setbacks that can only for a season be controlled with some type of medication, because maybe it's gone to the far end, right? It's already far too deep, and we need a little bit of that to boost ourselves to get back on track. But there are ways of regulating our hormones, right? And we talked about this, I think, in another one of your shows. But there is 4 things that you can do today to start regulating your hormones. Number 1 is sleep. If we are not getting the adequate amount of sleep, and when we're talking about adequate is anywhere between, 6 to 9 hours or so, right? 8 hours is fundamental. Number 2 is reducing your stress. Cortisol is the biggest threat for hormones, right? Because that cortisol, it spikes, it causes things, and it starts to affect our hormones. It's the biggest deregulator one of the deregulators that we have in our system, that if it's not controlled, it can lead to worse health risks, right? Number 3, walking. This is, I think, the time where in society we have the most sedentary lifestyles and customs that we've ever had. People don't like to walk. People don't like to be active. People like to be hermit crabs, right? We like to stay indoors, especially because of the pandemic. That's also caused a lot of anxiety and fear out in the world. So what do we want to do? We want to stay in a place where we can be protected, right? Now with the highest influx in businesses going online and now working from home, that sedentary lifestyle is real. And it's never been in the place where it's been today, at the levels that it's been today. So sedentary, not walking, not moving, will also cause our hormones to be out of whack. And then the final one is water, right? If we're not drinking the adequate amount of water in our system, it also causes our hormones to get out of balance. So the water, what it does is that, I mean, it's the natural medicine that we have for our system. Water cleanses, detoxes, it flushes our system. It causes the foods that we eat to be absorbed in our body. It eliminates toxins, right? It eliminates swelling. It eliminates water retention. It eliminates the sodiums that we eat in our foods. It is vital. If we're not drinking the adequate amount of water, which is a half ounce to 1 ounce per body weight, we're going to be imbalanced, and our hormones are definitely going to be raging, and you don't want that.
Wow, wow. I'll say good tips. I'm gonna have to go back and play this and make sure I'm doing all of these things because I know I am doing some of them. But yes, definitely, I definitely want to make sure I keep the stress level under control. Definitely want to keep the sleep pattern going. I've definitely been doing some water, and what was the other one?
Walking.
Walking. That's what I meant to say. Walking. Walking is one of the easiest things that you can actually do if you don't want to go to the gym. Some people don't like
Right.
to go to the gym. Some people
Right.
aren't really fond of using the equipment and stuff like that. Me,
Right.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it to an extent. But
Right.
walking, you can walk. You can walk anywhere. Sometimes people park way out in the parking lot,
Yeah.
at a store, just so they can walk from out there in the store and back. That's their form of walking. Some people do their
Right.
stairs at their apartments and so forth. So this is an encouragement, guys. Walking is one of the simplest things that you can actually do to get started on any type of a fitness regimen. Just get out there and start. Even if you can do 10 minutes, 10 minutes a day just to get started, but you got to
Right.
start somewhere,
Yeah. That's right.
so we want to make sure that we do that. We want to make sure we're drinking the water, getting the rest, and keeping the stress levels down. That's major.
Right.
That's major, guys. That's major. So there you have it. That's David's tip. We're going to be right back in just a moment. Well, we'll be back in another episode to talk a little bit more to David about another topic that you guys were very interested in. Thank you so much, David, for being here with us. We'll be right back in just a little bit to talk to him
My
again.
pleasure.
And we'll keep
Thank you
this
so
thing
much.
going so he can keep us fit and healthy.
I'd love that. Thank you.